Welcome to the past, kids. You ain't getting a bowl of here. That's for damn sure. Anyway, we're talking about the injury report, kids. A lot of significant injuries to a lot of significant teams and players.
Yeah.
This is for the NFL, as usual. And we're kicking things off. Victor Cruz, number 1, knee injury.
It was really bad. It was so bad that they had to take him to a hospital in Philadelphia for pain management while the team left because he needed narcotic pain medication. And team's not, it's against the law for the team to travel with narcotic pain medication. He had to go to the hospital. It was that bad. He's going to need ACL surgery. Victor Cruz is going to be out for the rest of the season.
You know, a lot of these keep happening. I mean, we have a pretty significant list. Alex Mack
There's a lot
from the Browns. Broken leg, season ending. He's going to need season-ending surgery.
Yeah, and that's too bad because he's a center, and in his case, it looked like he not only broke his leg, but also suffered a high ankle sprain. So, yeah, that's season ending for a center for sure.
The reoccurring theme, if you paid attention to our previous ones, is they're all lower body injuries. Knees, ankles. Ah, man, it's pretty horrible.
Yeah, so Steven? Yeah,
Steven Ridley.
Yeah, that looks like ACL, so we're probably not going to see him. And Jered Mayo, also his knee, maybe an ACL. It's a little hard to tell, but didn't seem to be it anyway, the way he went down. And he passed over Dee Milliner.
Milner, yeah. Achilles.
That's Achilles.
Yeah.
And that, I know, you had a thought about that.
I don't know if it's ruptured or torn. I'm curious to find that out because by the look of the amount of pain that he was in when he was coming off the field, I would guess tear. But I guess that other guy said rupture. The difference can be one fiber. Yeah. So the pain. I mean, I don't know. It just didn't look like a complete tear to me, a complete rupture. But we'll see.
Yeah. Either way,
if it's a tear and it's severe, he's done.
Yeah.
Who else we got on the list?
Seattle lost Byron Maxwell.
Yeah,
he's not just one of their cornerbacks. He was opposite of Sherman.
Yeah,
and so that has a potential to be an issue. He hurt his ankle in the game. Looks like a high ankle sprain. So he'll probably miss a couple of games. And then Darren Sproles injury, for those of you guys that are watching the Eagles play, his might not be quite so bad. It didn't look like an ACL.
Okay.
And in fact, Eagles have a bye this week coming up.
Oh, okay. That's
he may
beneficial.
not miss a game or may miss only one game. So for those of you guys that are Eagles fans, you don't need to be too concerned about Mr. Sproles.
Interesting. I mean, I know a lot of these are going to hurt a lot of fantasy football leagues and fans of the teams in general.
Yes.
What do you think? Ron, I'll start with you, is the biggest impact. What injury do you think is going to really hurt?
Well, from a fantasy perspective, it's Victor Cruz, hands down. From a team perspective, I always pay close attention. When a star goes down, that's always a big deal.
Yeah.
But a lot of teams are fairly well spread out. Unless you're the Dallas Cowboys, then everything runs on
the Murray train.
Right, exactly. But in the case of Cruz and the running back from the Patriots we just said, Ridley. In their cases, there's other weapons on that team. But when a center goes down, that can completely mess up an offensive line. So I think
it can change the identity as well.
I think the one that's going to have the biggest impact is going to be Alex Mack for the Cleveland Browns.
I tell you what, I think you were about to ask who the biggest impact was for me. Yeah. I hear what you're saying about Mack, but Victor Cruz by far.
Think so?
Here's the problem. Here's why I'll say not Victor Cruz over Mack. Yeah, your center is your quarterback of the offensive line, but offensive lines get shuffled around on a regular. The Giants play the Cowboys next, the Colts next, then the Seahawks, then the 49ers, then the Cowboys. They don't see a pancake until the Jaguars in November, at the end of November.
Oh, geez.
So they just now got that brand new offense clicking. You've just lost a major piece of that brand new offense, which is predicated on getting rid of the ball earlier. So now you got to hope that whoever steps into his place can carry the load.
Yeah, it's tough because I agree with both of you. I think having a center out can really change the offensive line. But Victor Cruz, and this is where I got to go with Victor Cruz as a final decision, because, one, their schedule is tough. That's a holy shit schedule. I wouldn't want to play that. Not only that, he is a very easy go-to target. And when that go-to target isn't there, and all of your other guys are not up to the same par, yeah, you have other weapons, and you can kind of elevate them, but Victor Cruz, he's a bad man. And when he's gone, I think it's going to have a big impact.
A quarterback without his go-to receiver is much more drastic than a quarterback getting a snap from a center.
Yep.
Interesting to see what happens. Skill player versus the O-line. That's the ever big question. But the O-line guys make that money for some reason, so we'll see what happens.
Absolutely. But now we definitely want to know what you guys think. Does this impact your fantasy football league? As a fan, are you a fan of any of these teams? Are there any injuries you think we missed? Definitely let us know. Hit us up in the comments. Feel free to hit us up on our social media. We have, displayed here. We also have a podcast, so we can talk about a lot of things at great length, which we do in the podcast. So definitely check that out. It's all in the description. Make sure to subscribe and make sure to check it out over on Stitcher or iTunes on the podcast as well. This is the Pass Kids, and maybe you'll see more injury reports coming up. I don't know. I'm going to go outside and try not to get, any sort of Ebola or break my knee or some shit like that.
Yeah, that's not happening.
Bad news bears, man. Dr. Cornell West got arrested today. The world is ending. I'm sorry. It's true, man. There ain't no Ebola here. We ain't killing people. We talking about injuries. Where's Doctor Who? Save me.
Yeah.
Where's the TARDIS?